Ooh. I'm so happy. Hello you, and welcome back. So we're going to continue my little project of a village, and oh my god, here comes the shaking again, because apparently I shake a lot. So I have 2 houses and I have 2 lamps. So we're going to create a little village where we could just present our little project on top of. So what we're going to need for this project is some black construction paper, or some construction paper that you want the street color to be, and a cereal box and some glue. I'm probably going to use this kind of glue this time, but I mean, I'm sure both will be perfectly fine. And of course some scissors. So all these things you could find at home. You're also going to need a pencil crayon. I used gold, but if you have any beige or yellow colors, that could help out. And you're going to need either cotton balls or toilet paper. Alright, let's get going. So you want the construction paper to be big enough to cover the box, like so. And then you're going to trim the edges and you're going to fold them over. We're going to start opening the box to have just this here. We don't want more than that, unless if you want to make a gigantic village. I don't have the space for that, so we're just going to go ahead and break out the box. How I do it is that I go for the seams right away and we open it up, and we're just going to cut up all this right here. So if you're going to use like white, I wouldn't put it on this side, I would put it on this side, but I'm using black, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it on this side. So let's get cutting. If you have a guillotine board, which I do have, but I want to follow step by step with you guys, it'd be a lot faster and a lot straighter lines. But again, we're not trying to be perfect here. This is just a memorable craft that we're going to be doing, and our kids are going to be doing this with us, hopefully. If you don't have kids or a family, don't worry about that. Crafting is for everyone. It releases happiness and joy, especially when the project is done. And I think it's just one of those joys of life that we don't really allow us to have when we're adults for some reason. So I think that it's really important to keep on creating and showing our appreciation for things that we don't have to be amazing at. I mean, this project right here that I created is very simple. The project itself is very simple, and I believe really that anybody can make it. This project right now, for the purpose of this video, is just 2 houses, 2 lamps, and 1 tree. But you can make it as big as you want. I do plan to make this with my kids and my family during the winter break, so I just plan for it to be a bigger village. But I think this is going to be very cute for a very simple looking petite village. So I think we're just going to turn this over just to see where we need to cut. And like you see right here, it's about the same place everywhere, because you're going to try to center it as much as you can. And we're just going to go ahead and make a line on every edge just to show yourself where you need to cut. So you're going to have like a little line on every little edge, and then you're just going to cut that little line. Now, why I'm going to use stick glue over liquid glue is simply because it's very wet and it's going to create like a bumpy texture, but it's not going to like destroy the project entirely. I just think that it's going to be a nicer finishing touch. So go ahead and make sure to get all the edges, but also I like to do like an X like that, and generally that's enough. So we're going to flip it over again and try to put it in the center once more. Here, we're just going to move this so we got it more onto the project itself. You see it's more centered. Little village coming onto the side here. Here it is. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create just a line of glue. And we're just gonna fold it over. So if you've missed the previous videos, I have a video for every single item. I have a video for the houses, for the tree, and for the lamps. So just check that out and you're gonna be able to follow along. I do everything step by step, no hidden things. It's all together and I do it slow paced so everybody can follow along. So yeah, you put the glue on the cardboard and on the paper, and I think that does a really nice look. So now we're gonna just try to figure out how we want to place everything. I think that having it somewhere midway will be really cute. The tree here and then the lampposts on each side. Yeah, that's adorable. So this is how we're gonna want it to be. Now we're going to create a way for the lamppost to be standing. So let's get going. As I mentioned in the last video, you're going to create kind of an opening on each end, so it's going to give you a bit of a standing piece, right? So if you miss that, what you're going to do is that you're going to create a little, yeah, don't do it after because the glue does become hard, but I just wanted to show you guys. Okay, here it is. Like this. Let's see if it's the same height. A little more. So once the glue hardens, like you can see, it does create a really hard pull. If you were worried about that in the last video, worry no more. So that's pretty good. And now we're going to create like a little tiny box that we're going to be able to glue like this. Alright, see you soon. So actually I changed my mind. I think backed up is going to be real cool because I want to create a little thing here later. So this is the box I'm telling you about. It's just going to be easier to glue things here. I'm going to show you how to make it. So you just need a little piece of construction paper. Let me just snip right here. I put the dimensions at the bottom so there's no misunderstanding. And basically, let's just put this aside a little bit. We're gonna fold a flap. And this will be a flap just for stability. And then we're gonna fold in half and then open. Now you got the two same sizes here. You're gonna fold those larger rectangles into halves. So now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 creases. Now you're gonna go 1/3 of the way, fold it, open again, and then you meet it at the crease. And then you're gonna cut on all the outer creases. Two sides. So basically you see you got like a shape like this. Now you're gonna glue all one side. And the little flap here, not on this side right here, not yet. So we're gonna fold it up. I like to start on the small one. It kind of gives the little stability for the beginning. And you roll it up. And make sure to press on this side here too. I like to press a little thing here, like that. Oh, see, if this ever happens, just make sure everything is adjusted. It was on this side. Just trim that out. Bye-bye. So basically you have like a square like this. You see that? If you need more glue, just add more glue. Especially on the side there. It's gonna need to be a little bit more stable. So I like to hold it a little bit. For sure, the more time it glues, the stronger it is. Depends how much patience you have or your children have. So basically that is what it is. Now you're gonna grab this guy, make sure it actually fits in here. Yep. Now you're just gonna put a lot of glue on it. And you're going to go ahead and just place it inside. Alright, so these projects are not going to stand on its own, unfortunately, but they do stabilize. So you just need to be a little bit patient with them. So what I did here is that I tucked in 2 sides, and on the sides that it's more narrow, you see like this versus this, you're gonna cut a slight slit, and what's gonna happen is that that's gonna help the project work through. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. It's gonna work through the project to have more of a closed box. So we're gonna push this one down. See that? I'm gonna zoom in so you guys get it. See, I put the creases in like that. Now you're just gonna put glue on top of that. And you're gonna place one at a time. And again, you're just gonna hold it a little bit. You don't have to hold it very long, but enough for it to find its shape. Again, if you have anything poking out like this, you just trim it. Everything's fine. So now you got 2 lights, and they look like that. I think they look really cute like this, so I would stand them like that beside the little houses. So let's put them beside the house. All right, let's bring these guys back. All right, so we're gonna put glue at the base. See that? Put it on the side that you like the most. Hold it for a few seconds. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Actually, I did a mistake. That should be more into the straight, shouldn't it? Oopsies. Gonna oh well, that's gonna be fine. Okay, so now we got the street lamps. We got street lights, I should say. Why do you keep saying lamps? Anyways, so we have this ready to go. Now we're gonna create a little scenery, and so just I'm right-handed, so I'm just going to turn the project on this side, and we're going to create a little bit of texture here for it not just to be a black straight So I do admit this part takes a little more patience than our usual projects. We're gonna create a little cobblestone street here. So you could either cut out pieces and stick them, but I think it's gonna be really nice just to go ahead and use a pencil. And again, if you want to have a different color or anything like that, go ahead. I'm going to zoom up the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. So you don't want it to be always the same size. You want some little pieces, because you have to remember these are cobblestones. They're not bricks that were created to look perfect. So I think it's going to be really cute to see how it turns out. Like you could see, it's already creating a texture to the street than just a boring black street. And again, we're just using what we have at home, so I love that for this project, and I really hope that it encourages all kinds of people and ages to be able to create this. So you just keep going like that. I will not make you watch me do the whole thing because that will take a bit of time. But this is a bit of a relaxing section and I think it'll be very cute. So now it is done. I'm gonna create a little bit of a shade with colors. I'm gonna use gold. You could use any color that you want, but I thought it'd be a nice little glow and you could kind of work with it. By the way, if ever you get little smudges and smears, you could use a pencil eraser to go in between the things. I think that cleans it up pretty well. So basically I'm thinking this is like nighttime, so there isn't much color. That's why I thought gold would be a good option, because you know when you're walking and it's like a bit wet, it has like white and like the glimmer from the lamps and the street lights and all that. I thought it was going to be a good choice for those reasons. So basically this part doesn't take too long. It's just, you're just going to decide where you want it to shine from and you're going to go with it. I'm going to shine especially towards where the lamps are, and I'm just going to keep going in that way. So that's the feel it's getting. I'm going to get a little closer. So it's just giving like a texture to the street, right? So now we're going to create a sidewalk. I'm going to go ahead and use the back side of the cereal box. We're going to cut it out. Okay, so that will just be part of the sidewalk. We're just going to create lines like that. You can use a ruler, of course. Where's my ruler? There it is. Okay, so we're just gonna We're gonna test that. I hope it looks nice. See what it looks like on top of the project. I'm not in love with it. Maybe I need to trim it a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, okay. I am gonna trim it a little more though and make sure it's straight this time, because I do think the shorter kind of edge gives a nice little look to it. Let's double check. Yeah, absolutely, I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna use that. Glue that right there, and it's gonna look wonderful. There we go. Yeah. Looking good so far, huh? So this is the little street. Now the next step is to create, well, what's so magical? Well, what is so magical and beautiful during winter is the snow. So let's do that. So I just wanted to let you in my work in progress, and I just wanted to say that if you don't have cotton balls, which will look like this, you could use toilet paper. You have to break the toilet paper in these little tiny, tiny, tiny pieces and just wrap it around like that. Or you take a cotton ball and you pull it apart into these tiny pieces again. It's kind of, same kind of rule. And then you kind of just put it together like that. I'm going to use the cotton because I have the cotton. But of course, I understand if you don't have that, and if you don't want to use that, you could also just use white paper where you want it. And I mean, like, it could be kind of cute, you know, just to have the white paper. It's easier. It's maybe what you have on hand. It looks like that if you want the white paper. Yeah, so I'll let you choose. I'm going to use the cotton for this. So I cleaned up the paper, and now I just want to keep a little space for the pathway like that. And we're just going to go all the way around. So you could glue it as you process. I kind of like going through it and then deciding where I'm going to glue the things before I actually start gluing. I like to see my options. Do I like it here or there? You could even put some on the roof if you want. It's gonna need a little creativity and a little bit of personality in here, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna glue all the way around all the little spots that need to be glued. And you press down slightly, not to make your snow flat, but just enough for it to have a good little stick to it. The houses are still not glued. I'm thinking of not gluing them because sometimes we want to add more houses. Maybe I could stick them more together. It'll be easier just to pop these off than to rip the houses themselves. Yeah, I don't think I have that glued here. No, I don't. Okay, so push, 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 push. I glued this side already. Okay, okay. Yeah, so I think this will be enough for today. We're gonna have to create little decorations. I really want to create decorations, so yay. I just want to say that this is actually so fun to make. I hope you're gonna try it out because it's really turning out to be, whoop, that's because I didn't glue it. Just wanted to show you the top view. Whoop. Yeah, this is a nice little beginning to the village. Now I want to make it a little more Christmassy, so we'll see what we do with that. But I'm actually quite happy with it. I'm really, really excited. Alright, thank you for watching. If you liked my video, just like and subscribe if you want to see more. If you want to do a house, a tree, a street light, well, there's the videos for that, and I'll link them below so you won't miss them out. And yeah, alright.